So I set this going on the wood machine with no belt on it yesterday, thinking they'll run just a little bit of fuel out that's in it. Nope. I pulled the belt off, walked away. Didn't actually get very far because I had done some running, and it basically stopped due to the fact that it fouled the plug up. Well, I'm guessing. Let's have a look. One can only assume the kids have lost my other spark plug. My nice, yeah, look at that. It's fuel fouled, oil fouled. No, it's oil fouled. So yeah, I'll cook that in the burner and it'll be right after I'm done with it. And the pull start still does not work. I've had it apart. But the trouble is, there's a little cutout in there. Okay, the kids lost the rest of this one. But there's just a square drive in here. Well, in this case it'll be a star drive. And these all, whilst it's not running, sit down here in their locations. There's only 4 in the one for that motor. And it wedges and pins them up against the edge and turns. Well, that one, this one, pain in the freaking ass, up the tops here, because it's only got 4 drive balls in it, has 4 holes that the balls seem to be getting stuck in. I've taken all the lubricant out and everything, and they're getting stuck through the holes. If you can see it, you can poke it through, dislodge one, and it'll work. But once it runs, because centrifugal force is all that keeps them out, they get stuck again, and then unless you beat the thing with a hammer and they fall down, you've got no show. And that's not even guaranteed either. So it's a pity the kids lost the rest of that one because they are different. And that one's actually got the thread in it for the flywheel. That's what holds your flywheel on. And you're supposed to just have a small amount of lube because the shaft comes up through and that turny bit goes on top, that the recoil turns. There's a cover over here. Well, just need a little bit of lube to lubricate that shaft so it doesn't turn the recoil forwards and bust your spring. So by forwards, I mean in the same direction as the engine, so as it keeps pushing the cord out, then wraps it up backwards, right, and then it turns, busts this off somewhere in there, and then winds the spring the wrong way. I'm knowing from experience because I've had it happen on my ride-on. Same part, 20 years difference. Anyhow, so cover's got to come off, fuel tank's got to come off, carby and all that. I'll try to do it all as a unit. But I am basically going to start this on the weekend, I think. I don't think I'll get very far tonight. It's Thursday night and I just wanted to have a look. Oh yeah, and I wanted to make sure my gaskets were right. Pretty confident. There's a set of rings. And I've got to have a hone that's small enough. Because the smallest Datsun bore I go down to is 84.5mm. Yeah, they look like they're the right ones. The head gasket. Let's have a look at the head pattern. 3 that way, 1 that way. Yeah, that's correct. Sweet. It came in the mail bent, but they bent it through there. And it didn't bend the head gasket, so that's okay. It would have survived, I would have made it work. But I've got no holomer, no gasket goo. Who wants to see a sexy pair of rings? Remember ladies, these are the rings he really wants. Not your miniature fucking handcuffs. Come on. I do have a phone mount now. but I was not prepared. I was not actually going to be making a video. This is just a short highlight. Oh, get off. 2 compression rings, 1, 2, and this big wide one's a oil control ring, which will be what's worn out in the other piston. So I'm hoping that the ring grooves are alright in that piston, because I never ordered a piston. Those rings were $40, and I probably could have got a piston and ring with gudgeon pin for $45. Anyway, no, it probably would have been like $60 or $65 or something for the whole lot. But I thought, nah, she won't need a piston. She won't need a connecting rod. It sounds pretty good. It just blows a lot of smoke. But I guess the factor I didn't encounter is all that tolerance taken up by excessive amounts of oil and masking the fact that, well, not in the bottom end, but in the piston top end type thing, gudgeon bearing and piston slap scenario, is that basically keeping it quiet, because it's floating on such a thick film of oil, and if I put rings in it and disappear that, is it going to knock? I highly doubt it, and look, if it does, big deal, it's only got to idle. The hardest part for me now is going to be getting this sucker off, because this has to come off. I might gently try and pry it, and I reckon I'm going to have to heat it, unless there's a grub screw or something in here that I didn't see. Oh, look at that, there might be one right in there. This is where you need a special screwdriver. And then an air compressor. Oh yeah, grub screw. But still, it's aluminium on steel, so it's going to be locked on pretty well. I never got an oil seal either. So, I mean, I guess if it does leak, they just press in from the outside. Yeah, it's a Allen key, I do say. It's like being at the dentist and poking at your teeth. There's one, here's one. That same squeaky that nobody likes. There's only one Allen key so far. Let's hope it's any good. I should leave it soak in something and not make any attempt to get it out until it's soaked for like a day. I would have said a week, but I want to do this on the weekend, so that kind of cancels that shit idea out. Anyway, a whole heap of WD-40 in here and a bit of love from the air compressor, and those years of dirt should come out, I hope. Yeah, I'm starting to see something in there. I just hope it comes out, because I can see it being a pain in the butt. It'll be steel and aluminium, and it will have locked onto it really well. The grub screw will be steel. The aluminium will have grown. Locking it on, 2 thou, 20 ton press fit. You know, 2 to 4 thou. Probably equivalent to 20 ton. So, you know, it's not looking great. And if there's any burr on here, I almost wonder whether I should run a drill down it first. I'll bring it up, and if it stops at any point, I'll wind it back down and just run a drill in to round this edge out. At least that way it's not fighting against so many damaged threads, because that's definitely a burr, I would say. But yeah, And see those balls in there, doing this you would hear them roll around, and you don't. I think that's going to be my biggest frustration. Anyhow, there's no actual air cleaner in here either, it's just a housing. The actual air cleaner itself is self-destructed. So I might hook it up with a foam cleaner at some point. See, nothing in there. And yeah, bloody flies are friendly. All this has got to come off. So on the serial code, those two numbers there which you can't read, starts with 69. That's supposed to be the year of manufacturer. Damn fly. So yeah, a sane man would paint this. Suppose I could. Oh, the prep work. Don't know that I'm really that interested. I might just whack some paint on it, but not actually paint it properly. These here are missing on half of them. This back plate. So no one's really molested it. I would love to see what Allen key that is. Shibi Imperial. Where's my Imperial keys? They are metric. Hey, yeah, where's my Imperial keys? Oh no, the kids haven't taken them. The whole thing's gone. Ah, damn. That's not cool. I don't know where they are. I really need to. Although they're fairly hard to remove normally. Oh, that's not that big. We'll try and metric here. Certainly not. Yeah, it's not this size either. Maybe it was that other size. Oh yeah. But it'll be some Imperial size in between. Want to make sure you get them in there good and proper. I don't know where that's gone. Maybe my knife's fallen down. See, my knife, it normally hangs just up here, like that. Up there. Anyway. Some people would call that a WMD. I just call it a hunting knife. In fact, it's not even finished. That's why I got it cheap. And the handle's got imperfections. So I'll have to chase the wife up. She probably had those. Wonder what she would have done with them. They're not on the skyline. Bit of inertia just to knock the crap out of it. Bit of inertia would be nice to knock this in. I'm not sure that I want to try with one hand. And I think I really want to heat it and find the Imperial one. Alright, out for now. We applied heat and we've got movement, so if we just keep wiggling it, especially whilst it's cooling down, a little bit of jizz and I'll see you in 4 days when I wiggle this out. So I'd like to reuse it. So this is happening quicker than I thought. Like, we've done a couple of river McLutions. See, look, watch this. 1, 2, and all that crap's coming out. So, unless it's pulling thread with it, I mean, I hope not, but it doesn't feel to be. I can actually see the top of it. That's pretty good for something that's out in the weather for 30 years. Right, yeah. Let's make sure I got that out of there. Fuck yeah, because now I can reuse that. Because since when have I thrown anything away, right? Even when it's been long... Oh, that's still hot. Long broken. I've always tried to bloody resurrect it before I've given up. I wonder whether we give this some of the... Because it's the other thing I did. Just a little bit of this. And then... If I just apply some heat on that and just gently lever from here to there on both sides, maybe it'll come off, because I'm expecting it to be hard due to the fact that it would have grown, would have locked tight on there over the years. Anyway, that's one small success. Out for now. Put it off, applied heat back and forth and slowly turned it. Leave it against here as much as possible, much as this on this nut. I did break a wing off of that accidentally, but that still functions. Anyhow, on that oil plug, that's pretty warm. I got some heat into that. Anyway, look what started working. Because of all the vibrations, because I actually donked on the shaft. When I say levering, I had a lever here, I had the hammer on it. I just put a bit of weight and just give it a tap, because I just want a little bit of inertia. I didn't want to risk breaking this cover. Anyhow, I think for now I'll just turn it up one way. Well, it is landing this way. I'll undo this, sit a tub underneath it, let the thing drain of oil, and yeah, because it's pretty black in there. I've topped it up. I've never changed it though. Like, it's pretty horrible. In fact, I think it's getting fuely because it's so much bypass both ways. Compression. Oh, yuck. That's my rag for when chainsaws leak. Like running them here in the bench, and the bar oil drips out of them. So anyway, yeah, we'll drain the oil. It can drain for a while. Then I'll start pulling it all apart, but I'm not going to do that tonight. This is it. If I had a sandblaster, there was actually cover missing off of there. Someone has had this apart for points. There's a little right angle piece. Just covers in the back of here, because that's just wasted air. Wasted air? Yeah, it would be wasted air. So it covers that, and it goes into the here, underneath, and just sits in behind. But I think I've got a yellow one or a green one that could go on here. And yeah, and basically the fins suck through there and push the air up through this cover, which it would be coming out the back of here as well, and then push it throughout the engine to cool it through the cover over the fins. So yeah, there you go. And I think I roughly worked out once upon a time that they run at about 90 degrees. I think. Or is it between 90 and 120? I can't remember. I'll get it going and I'll get the surface temperature meter out and we'll have a look at it. But the growth is so much more than a water-cooled engine. That's why if you ever rebore one of these, you've got to be spot on with what you do with any stationary motor, because they are really tight when they are cold and they loosen up the hotter they get. And with a water-cooled engine does to only touch a point, because you're regulating the temperature. just said 80 or 90 degrees. So much blow by, it's even sticking up that choke. Like it's nasty. It's just rebreathing its own filth. A lot of crankcase gases. Anyway, I'll clean all that up. That'll stop once it's got a new set of rings, I hope. Cause like from here, really, it's take this back cover off, undo the connecting rod, take the head off. I want to check all the valves out, so everything's going to come off of that side so I can get to the valves. So I can get to the lash adjusters under there, under the breather tube. Just loosen them off a little bit. There's no adjusters as such, you got to grind them. And then, yeah, be happy days, as long as I don't make it too loud it ticks. And then, yeah, so I'll tidy it up a little bit, but I'm not going to go fucking stupid with it. It's here to do a job, not look pretty. But yeah, if only I had the bore scope in there. Anyhow, you get the drift. And yeah, this is going to be the content for today. It's still got, ooh, that's still smoking hot. I think I should not perhaps leave it on a wooden bench. Maybe stick it up on the vise. Keyway is stuck in there. But if it goes back on like that, I don't care. Put the grub screw back in, happy days. If the thing never moves, happy days. I'll sandpaper the shaft up. Some of these had a thread in the end, but I don't know whether this one has. Anyway, I'm gonna get to work. Don't know if you can see it. The light's probably not good enough. You see that grey patch in the middle? I can see it. That's all metal. Maybe I should have bought some other parts for this. Well, I mean, I can. It's not quite wood cutting time yet, but and wood stacking time, but there's a lot of glitter in there. And it ain't supposed to be glittery. But that might never have been changed. That could be from years of abuse. Anyway, well, maybe it's been run out of oil. Maybe the connecting rod's got some wear in it. Maybe that's when they knew to top it up so it stopped smoking. I only joked about it, but I never actually do it. Anyway, is what it is. I can fix it. You can buy rods, buy a piston if I want to. No big deal. Bore it out if I really want to. Although I've only got a hone. We'll see.